Yo, what up YouTube? It's your boy NEACE. I'm here with a new video. I'm excited about this one. The reason why is I went on a vacation just last week, like a true NEACE solo vacation. I went to a beach land for Halo 1 in Florida. It's one of my favorite little events. I'm part of the Halo community, and actually when I started streaming, I played Halo on my stream. I got like no views and eventually moved on to League and got big into that. So anyways, I took my break. I got thinking, man, I'm gonna start coaching more. If you want to be coached, make sure you start getting your replays in, because those things are going to start bumping. I'm going through, I'm updating all my YouTube stuff, I'm making new videos, and I'm just excited to be back. Took a little hit in my subs on Twitch, but I think I'll build them right back up real quick, and I'm looking to go way beyond. But anyways, you're probably thinking, well, shut the fuck up about all that shit. Why am I here? You're here because we're going to be talking about mental APM. It's a concept of the invisible skill that one needs in League of Legends in order to improve and to climb and to get better and all that bullshit. So I'm gonna walk you through mental APM, what it is, why it's important, and how being more active mentally in your games can drastically change the result of your games, from whether or not you autopilot, how consistently you play, and overall you will just you will be forced to expand your knowledge of the game. And this holds true with any game. And part of the idea behind this was the Halo land, as I realized a game like Halo requires massive not only physical APM but mental APM as well. So I really wanted to touch on this. I thought it was important. And yeah, so without further ado, why does this lesson exist? All right, mental APM is a core concept for newbies. It's one of my core coaching concepts. That means I run into it all the time with my clients. We're essentially training our brain to juggle a lot of information at high speeds. Think of the lightning fast commentaries that I used to do. I would load up a game. I would play the best of my ability while simultaneously commentating everything that I was thinking. Someone with a high mental APM will like I said at the beginning, will autopilot less and ultimately play more consistently. But what you do, if you look at a guy like Faker and you see him click around quickly, or you watch a pro StarCraft player, you see the physical, you see the APM, like you see the actions, like, wow, that guy's fast, right? But what you don't see is you don't see inside someone's mind when they play. So you will oftentimes have no idea if someone's actually outpacing you mentally, because with League, there's no evidence of that. There's no proof of that. All right, so what is mental APM, or what is APM? The old StarCraft term, APM, stands for actions per minute, where you have a measurement. So if you start a game, you start mashing the keys, you start juggling all these things that you have to do in the game, your APM goes up. A newbie's gonna have like 30, 40 APM. A veteran StarCraft player is gonna have anywhere from 2 to like 300 and beyond if they're a fucking lunatic, right? The mental APM, though, is about simply thinking about as much shit, in this case, lol shit, right? As much lol shit as possible while you are playing. If more players actively try to stay in the flow of the game by consciously speeding up their mental APM, or mAPM, which is my abbreviated term that I made up for this video, you will improve, okay? So, there's probably some of you watching this video right now who's thinking about clicking off the video and thinking like, this guy is bullshit, he's making shit up. And yes, you're kind of right, I am, except for one little thing that I want to touch on. I've coached hundreds of clients. I'm sure that we're somewhere over 700, maybe even 800 clients, from the replay reviews to the private coachings that I've done over the years. I'm one of the most veteran coaches when it comes to coaching players of all skills. I would rate LS above me on like coaching really, really high ELO play, right? The fact is, most of my coaching clients are thinking about too little. And this is a topic, this is a term that I've coined, and the replay review fans will know. This is something that I've talked about over time and have said repeatedly, like, I need to make a video on this concept because I think it's fascinating, I think it's interesting, and it's something that me personally, as a player, that I've learned. So you may be thinking too little in the game, right? But which are you? Do you not know enough of what's happening in order to think about it? Or are you simply not actively trying to engage your brain? Okay, so in order to find out, I've made some different slides just to demonstrate exactly what I'm talking about. And I do eventually intend to do maybe some more lightning fast commentaries. I do eventually intend to go over in more detail on these topics. But for now, we're going to work on a baseline like with any of these videos, okay? So this is things to think about easy mode. All right, so for example, a newbie plays League of Legends, whether he's a noob or just starting out in ranked. He thinks about like basic things generally, like cooldowns, like his cooldowns. He thinks about his lane. He thinks about like basic mini-map shit maybe, like oh, a gank might be coming, right? Thinks about his HP, his mana, and his gold. He might think about his active items, okay? Now, a silver player can kill a higher rated player in a lane, right? We've seen it happen. I'm pretty sure Faker died to some like brand guy one time in like a really dumb way, right? And that happens all the time. But all ranked players are thinking about these basic things, and all ranked players generally can luck out and get a kill or two or whatever. The problem is after lane phase or as the game drags out, the amount of stuff that a player thinks about, the amount of things that he's not even aware of starts to expand. All sorts of leaks in play show up, which is why generally players that are in silver gold will like never take a game off a platinum player, and platinum players will rarely take games off diamond players, and diamond players will rarely. And you see where I'm going with this, because the game at its core requires you to think about more things, more details that no one else thinks about beyond this baseline easy mode shit. So let's say that you're at that level. You're like a bronze, silver, you know, whatever, low elo guy, right? And you've got some general ideas of the game. Now we start looking at the medium, like mental APM, the medium mode things that we need to look at, right? We've got our cooldowns, we've got mine, we got theirs, we got my team, we got the minimap, we got vision, we got heads on the minimap, which I talk on lessons a lot. We got where are the waves at, resources, mana, HP, gold, lethals, like whose HP is low enough that I can kill them, whose mana is low enough that it's going to kill them, who's you know, who hasn't bought yet, like items that we have, items that we're going to get. Champions, which champions serve what purposes? Is the champion that I'm about to challenge fed or weak? Is he a level ahead of me? What's the expectation of the fights? The objectives, towers, all this shit, right? All this shit starts coming into our peripheral. We can start tracking all these different things as we get a little bit higher mental APM. Okay? Once you as a lower elo player you've established those baseline things that make you exist, and like bronze and silver and gold and all that shit, you need to actively go out and find new things, new topics, new areas to focus on. Because every little thing, if we just start getting rid of shit, if you just start removing shit that from your game, like whether or not you're counting heads on the minimap before you're fighting, whether or not you're considering whether someone's fed or weak before challenging them, whether you're not thinking about your enemy spawns or your teammate spawns before defending a siege, all these things tie into whether or not you as a player are actively going to improve. And then if you really want to take this whole mental APM concept to the next step, you can also consider the hard mode stuff. Now, the more detail you can go into a concept, the more likely you can include it into your mental APM. Okay, so the more that you can actively go out of your way to find those little details and those little bits of information, you can go beyond this stuff here, Rich. And this, by the way, is not everything that has to do with League. For example, supports will have warding, supports will have just different aspects like engaging, peeling, fucking junglers will have better understandings of like farming, maybe pathing through the jungle, maybe where they can gank selection, all these different things for each lane. But the point is to show off like how we approach improving our knowledge, and then eventually how we should view our game. Like when we go into a game, how much shit are we actively thinking about, and are we keeping ourselves focused? And so, for example, I've taken cooldowns and I've expanded it beyond like the simple guidelines here, right? And now I'm saying, okay, my summoners or escapes are on cooldown, and my positioning needs to reflect that. An enemy has this cooldown. Can I exploit that some way? Do I need to be aware of that in some way? My teammates' ultimates are up and down. If I have a good engage, what if my teammates' ultimates aren't up? Then maybe that engage isn't good. Maybe that's a situation where, you know, we just go in because we count heads, but then we throw it because we're like, shit, no ultimate, you know, my teammates didn't have an ultimate. Layering, the concept of layering, which is basically saying like, if I try to dive someone, or let's say I try to dive a Jax as Tryndamere, the Jax will inevitably, he's going to ult, and then he's going to E, and then he could potentially jump, and he could potentially flash. Have I accounted for all these things? Have I wasted any cooldowns? What's the order of operations, right, in the fight? Because if we don't understand those things going into it, if we're not thinking about it, we're leaving a lot of variables up to chance. These are variables, like if you look at someone like Dopa, right, who's known as like the macro god, you watch his gameplays, he's constantly thinking about this. He's constantly playing chess with people in his mind. His mental APM is off the fucking charts. All you have to do is watch the whole commentary where he says he beats a Fizz in lane, right? It was like this old commentary where he's like, Fizz auto-attacked a minion, I win the TF versus Fizz matchup, assuming that the jungler doesn't come. Because he thinks that deep into the game. He's actively looking for new things to think about. Can I save this cooldown and still be effective? Like if you've got a free kill, maybe I should hold my ult, maybe I should hold my ignite, maybe I should hold this, maybe I should not blow my gap close just to get the kill. All these concepts. Is this cooldown going to me or my teammate? For example, if an enemy is going to target you or your teammate, you need to be aware of that and constantly plan and adjust accordingly. These are just my examples. All right, all this shit is just my examples. It's not set. It's not like a fact. It's not, this isn't like some fucking dictionary concept. It's made up, right? All the mental APM stuff is a made up thing. But I think it's a very important concept for League of Legends because League of Legends is one of the few games where there's all these pretty bells and whistles and things happening that players just tend to tune out all the thought that goes into it, especially when I hear players in like silver and gold or bronze or whatever going, well, my team's holding me back. But if you looked into their mind, if there was like an APM counter, like a mental like measurement or whatever, it would be like the StarCraft. You'd see the guy has like a 10 mental APM. He's looking at his champion, maybe knows a little bit about one or two champions in the room, and he's not really thinking about his cooldowns or what have you, right? Whereas if you looked at a Masters or Challenger player, a good example, I personally don't do this, and I should, Prismal. Prismal does this thing where he got into counting jungle camps, right? That's it, and I believe LS talked about it in the past. That would be an example of someone utilizing information that somebody else isn't utilizing and giving themselves a small, tiny bit of an edge, but it's more than the next guy. It's more than your average player. Your average player is right. Your average League of Legends player is right here, like baseline shit. Your middle tier League of Legends player is here. They know pretty much everything that's happening, give or take. They know pretty much about every concept, roughly, give or take. But then, when you find those absolute top tier players, they've really driven in. They have gone deep on each and every topic, for the most part, to come up with their own gameplay, their own play style, their own identity. They're always looking for ways to shape that and restructure that. So, this shit looks hard as fuck. That's probably what you're thinking, right? If it looks overwhelming and exhausting, then great. That was my goal of this video, is to kind of point out that like there's a lot of shit that you can think about in a game, and you should be trying to think about it on the fly. You're not going to know everything overnight. But instead, you should try to become more aware and start training on this. Start realizing that at its core, if you want to be good at this game, if you're beyond like playing fucking norms and Earth mode games and going, haha, I guess we lost, I guess we won, haha, and just being confused, this is how, this is a nice little building block for you to throw into your game, right? This is why I made it, because I see it all the time. People just don't fucking think about enough shit. So, we know what we need to do, but how can we actively improve on this, right? There's no point of talking this bullshit concept unless I have some sort of like way or some ideas on how you can apply it, right? So I came with some ideas. Obviously, there's the drink water, eat clean food, and exercise, right? That goes without saying. The healthier you are as a person, the more likely you are to think with a clear mind. You'll have better clarity. Also, endurance. People ask me all the time, like, and by the way, I'm not pretending to be perfect or anything on this video, but I play a lot of games when I get to grinding. Or even when I get to coaching. People will go, well, this guy fucking like, when he starts coaching, he goes all day. Like, he does not stop. A lot of that is just health. Like, I run, I exercise, I drink water, I try very hard to take care of myself. That helps with overall endurance. And by the way, you're not going to just automatically jump into this type of shit and just do like rattle off like 4 or 5 ranked games and just kill it and know that you left the situation being like, yes, I applied really good like mental APM. Like I was in the fucking zone. I was thinking about what I was doing. I was trying to think outside the box. I was thinking about, you know, not only was I thinking about getting ganked, I was thinking about where the jungler started, I was thinking about where the bot lane started, I was thinking about my mid lane match, I was thinking about my team comp, I was thinking about this. You know, it's not going to just happen every game. After 1 or 2 games, you should be exhausted, right? You should be exhausted. When you get there, that's a good thing. So anyways, keep a checklist around. Maybe quiz your friends. Like if you're playing duo or something, quiz your friends. Be like, all right, what are we thinking about? What are we doing? What's the next plan? Some of the duo partners that I play with all like keep me in line sometimes when I play duo, because they'll be thinking about things that I won't be thinking about, and I'll be like, man, that is a really good point. Like I should be considering that this guy has a hard engage, and maybe, you know, we should try to bait that, peel back, or whatever the fuck, right? So play around that. Put a list around you. Quiz your friends. Whatever you need to do. And once you've burned yourself out, all right. Once you've burned yourself out, maybe like try some new champs and norms. Maybe seriously, maybe just take an opportunity to learn a new champion, learn a new thing without the pressure of like this crazy mental APM stuff. I'm just saying that when you get into ranked, you should be going into ranked ready to throw down. Is the point of this. If you're like me doing this stuff, like it will tell you. I know for me the commentaries, the lightning fast commentaries, fucking destroy me. I would do like one a fucking month way back because they tire me out. Trying to basically put into words the amount of shit that I'm thinking about in a game, and to make it in a way that I'm comfortable with, like putting myself out there like that would exhaust me. So trust me, like it's all varying degrees. The level that you're at, you will improve. I know that now I can do lightning fast commentaries whenever I want, if I want to. But yeah, anyways, it takes practice is all I'm trying to say. And the last thing I wanted to say before I start shutting this whole concept down, this talk down, is this is why one trick pony players crush ranked. All this shit back here, all these concepts, many of them have to do with your mechanical, like your understanding of a champion. So, for example, if you play, let's just say you play RE 30 fucking games, right? You play RE back to back to back to back to back. You're gonna know exactly how fast you can push a lane, what spells push a lane, how to last hit, when you can all in people, how your charm looks, how, you know, the range of the charm. You won't have to consider positioning very often in terms of like hitting a good charm. You'll be more aware of like saving your dash as your gap closes. You can worry less about your actual champion and more on the, you know, the other aspects, the other things that we're trying to juggle in this game. That is why one trick ponies crush ranked. And by the way, a side note, a big part of the, you know, that's a big part of the reason that I advocate, like, unless you're a pro player, keep your champ pool really fucking tiny. If you got a champ that can play multiple roles, just do that. Don't kill yourself trying to like learn a bunch of new shit. The only time you're really learning new shit is just to learn what the champion does. You don't have to sit and try to master every champion, okay? So, guys, this has been my talk on mental APM. It's kind of a big picture talk. I know you guys like these. They're different types of content that I'm really passionate about and things that I've talked about in my coaching lessons. I mean, this is now over years of experience with coaching and just in general something that I thought was an important thing that no one had really scratched the surface on. Sure, you could call, you know, mental APM like multitasking or whatever, but I think at the end of the day, the main reason that I framed it this way for you guys is to understand that like these, you don't see it, and it's important. Like, it's a skill that every good player has that you have absolutely no visibility on. So that was why I did it this way. If you like the video, please like it, all that shit. I really want to crank out more coaching and new videos. I am serious about this. My vacation was a lot of like internal soul searching. Literally, I'm not kidding, walking around the beach and thinking about my channel because I haven't been making a lot of content. I've cycled through different editors. I've had ups and downs where like I was going to do different climbs and then I bailed on them because I was just too overwhelmed with all the shit that I was juggling. I'm going to focus on being the best coach and the best content creator that you guys have seen in the League of Legends community for years to come. So you can leave ideas in the comments and stuff like that, and you can always check out the stream if you want to see me coaching live. Get your replays in sooner rather than later, because when I start coaching, the shit it backs up pretty hard. And I might even up the price if it stays like that. If you enjoyed this video and are excited for live gameplay, oh well, this is old. Don't even worry about that shit. Just fucking sub to my channel, all right? Oh, and we got to test one more thing before I go. Yeah, I haven't set this shit up on YouTube. There's a video, there's a thing here, you could sub, and there's some videos over here. Yeah, so I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. It's NEACE, No Bullshit Gamer, and I hope you enjoyed this. I'm out. Peace. Cracks. Thanks so much.